All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Mike Tomlin 3-year contract extension, as there is a bit of some mixed reactions among Steeler Nation. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. So, I'm not gonna lie, guys, like, what else do I have to say? Not to kill my own video, not to, like, push you guys away from this, not to be like, oh, this guy, he's gonna offer me nothing, because I'm sure I'm gonna put out something that's like 20 minutes by the end of this. But we have talked about this over and over and over again, and it's the same things, it's the same takes, it's the same fucking standard, because the standard is the standard, bruh. Mike Tomlin early on was getting the job done. Mike Tomlin early on couldn't do no wrong early on. He had one of the best younger coaching resumes that there probably is in like a 5 to 10 year gap or whatever span. He came in, won a Super Bowl pretty early, won another Super Bowl pretty or not, he didn't win another Super Bowl, but we made it to another Super Bowl pretty early. Mix in some some conference championships in there, I think. Mix in some like deep-ish playoff runs in there, and then since since we made the Super Bowl, I think, I lied. 2017 we got some playoff wins, but 2016 we got some playoff wins, but really since the Tim Tebow game has shit been going down for Mike Tomlin. Like, really since that unbelievable fucking game-winning play, man. Ever since that day, Mike Tomlin has been kind of on a downward spiral, at least in terms of like the fans and media perspective. Now, when I say media perspective, I don't mean national media. I don't mean ESPN. I don't mean Fox. I don't mean, such and such. Because outside of Pittsburgh, outside of Yinzers, outside of like, I'll be honest, guys, outside of the 40 pluses, the 50 pluses, the 60 pluses, the 70 pluses, the 80 pluses, outside of these people, Mike Tomlin can do no wrong, and he is a great coach. You ask any single player on the team, currently or past, you ask any of them, this guy is a great coach. But if you ask 50-year-old Steelers fan who's been watching this team since the 70s, since the 60s or whatever, if you ask them, Mike Tomlin has not been getting the job done. And now I really can. We can go through it. We can go through each and every playoff loss. We can go through each and every roster. We can go through each and every piece of the puzzle. But it all leads to the same conclusion of it doesn't fucking matter, and we need to get the job done. That's where I'm at now, low-key. Like, I've sat here, I've defended Mike Tomlin. You guys know how I feel about Mike Tomlin. He is my coach. I'm going to ride it out with him forever. Up until, like, low-key, not to throw him under the bus, but up until, like, we're, like, really ass, bro. Like, up until it's, like, really unquestionable, undefinable, unfucking equivocally that this guy is just not getting the job done. Then I'm going to write it out for him. And I know what you're thinking. Like, are we not there yet? Are we not at that point yet? Like, we've had playoff loss after playoff loss after playoff loss. I really think all these playoff losses are explainable. Like, low-key, of course. And, like, when you defend Tomlin, it's like, Tomlin he can't do no wrong, can he? Mike Tomlin, he's just perfect. Like, nobody is saying that. Nobody has ever said that outside of, like, maybe a few people. But, like, nobody is saying that. But to just put it all on Tomlin, just to, what he does in the regular season, what he does with I'm going to say minimal talent on the roster. We can talk about it all day long, man. What we were able to do last year going into the playoffs, how we were able to rattle off games with Mason Rudolph, how we were able to rattle off games with no safeties, no linebackers, and we do this continuously. We do this every single year, man, and the worst offensive line in the league. No offense to our offensive line last year. I know it wasn't the worst in the league, but we've had a pretty bad O-line for the past couple of seasons now. Our defense is very good, but sometimes we see it, it's not very good. Is that on Tomlin, the big defensive coach? Maybe that is on Tomlin, but I'm just trying to lay it out there for you. Like, we're looked at as like this juggernaut team, and Mike Tomlin has just collapsed and failed at every step of the turn, and it hasn't happened like that, man. We weren't supposed to beat Buffalo, man. We weren't even supposed to make the playoffs, low-key. After we lost to New England, like, that should have been it, but somehow, some way, we rattled it off and we did it. Before that, we were supposed to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who are now the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Before that, you got me. Cleveland, that one time, Cleveland fucking got us, man. I will say, Cleveland fucking got us, but this is also a team that, kind of took Kansas City to the wire that same season, man. You look before that, what was before that? Fucking Jacksonville, the Jacksonville game, once again, we got slapped in the mouth early, we got punched in the mouth early. Mike Tomlin plays a factor in that. But that alone is like the only playoff game where all the Killer Bees played and we just ended up coming up short. You know, before then, you look at our past playoff games that we had this Killer Bee fucking amazing offense that, you know, we just love and we just reminisce about. And it's like, how did they not win a Super Bowl? It's because they didn't fucking play together, man. There was one season where they really played together the whole time in the playoffs. 2 seasons if you count the Jacksonville year, but you know, we lost in the first round. But it was in 2016 when we had our last playoff wins. We beat the Dolphins. We beat the Chiefs, scoring no touchdowns, mind you. We had AB, we had Le'Veon out there, but Boswell won that game for us. That same Killer Bee team. That like, how the hell did we not accomplish more? You know, that same team, my childhood team, low key. I fuck with the Killer Bees. I love the Killer Bees, but we're like literally just making shit up at some points to slander Mike Tomlin, you know. But that was like the only run of it where they were actually all healthy and all playing. Before then, we didn't have AB, we didn't have Le'Veon, and we lost to the eventual Super Bowl champions in the Denver Broncos. Before then, I believe that before then it was like a Baltimore Ravens in like 2014, and you know, we kind of flopped that game. I want to say Ben had some picks, but you know, we don't want to just completely deflect the blame because I'm sure a lot of people are going to see this and you know, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm just sticking up for Tomlin. I'm just slandering other people so Mike Tomlin can be brought up, you know. But we just like it's just not the right story that people are telling, man. I have a tweet up here. Where is it? I have a tweet up. Where is it at? Okay, here we go. I have a tweet up here. Oh, no. This is the tweet right here. National media and Steelers fanboy bingo card part 3. Shout out to the Pittsburgh Panthers, man. Sorry I couldn't find this tweet. Jesse James got screwed. Let's start with this one in 2017 when we played the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jesse James did get screwed, man. We shouldn't have lost to Jacksonville, but we also shouldn't have played them in that round and had, you know, shit gone differently. Had the refs actually been worth a fuck, then, you know, maybe we don't get slapped in the mouth by Jacksonville. And even still, you know, we turned that into a game. But yeah, you know, we had turnovers. Our defense was trash. We knew that. But, like, you know, we just can't win with it sometimes. So it is what it is. Next, Pouncey had a bad snap. That's the Cleveland game. He did have a bad snap. We started out very slow. But can we be honest, man? Can we tell the truth? What the fuck were we going to do with that offense, bro? This is an offense coached by Randy Fichtner and Juju Smith-Schuster. And you guys hate Juju. Like, this is that same team and like the same whack offensive line that we're talking about. The James Conner that you guys kicked out because he was so bad. That same team, we were supposed to win. We were supposed to win that game. Like, I can't excuse it. We were supposed to be Cleveland that year, but to just fucking act like we were this number 1 seed juggernaut team that we started off 11-0 that season, you know, but to just act like we were 11-0 and the whole time we were frauds. Like, let's not forget, we just have revisionist history when it comes to Mike Tomlin. That whole year, that whole Cleveland year, we were getting slandered, we were getting joked on, we were getting our plays called out at the line of scrimmage by opposing teams. This is that same team that Mike Tomlin was supposed to just, you know, win with. And maybe he was supposed to do that because of all the credit he gets. Maybe he was supposed to elevate the team. Maybe he was supposed to, you know, go out there and play himself. Whatever you guys think, like, maybe that is true. But to just act like this dude just did nothing to deserve this contract. To just act like we don't make the most out of the worst every single season, man. Like, it's just ridiculous. People are still bringing up Bill Belichick and his 6 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowls, however many it is, knowing damn well, here we are in 2024, knowing damn well that Tom Brady was 90% responsible for that. And if that's not true, I don't care, because I'm a little tight right now. I won't lie. And people are still bringing up Bill Belichick over this shit because he just, you know, he fancied his way into 6 rings, and like he's a great coach. Bill Belichick is a great coach, but we now know Tom Brady was a huge reason for that. Players have come out. You know, media has come out. We've seen Bill Belichick without him in that like little 3 to 4 year span. He did end up going to the playoffs again, but you know, it is what it is. Tom Brady left, made another super team and fucking won a Super Bowl and got close again. Like, we've seen that play out. We've seen coaches after coaches like have losing seasons. We've seen coaches after coaches damn near lose their locker room. We've seen players come out and be like, yeah, Bill Belichick wasn't that guy. We've seen media, I already said this, we've seen media come out and say, yeah, Bill Belichick wasn't that guy. You ask a single player from it's 17 years. You got 17 years of rosters. Ask any single player if, you know, Mike Tomlin's this bad coach, if Mike Tomlin is this, is that, if they would rather play for another coach than Mike Tomlin, they will all tell you no. And the Steelers are hearing this. And at the same time, we have never had a losing season under Mike Tomlin. And at the same time, when we are favorited in playoff games, I don't have it up right here, but I want to say it's like 7-2 or some shit, 7-3, 7-4. It's been a while since we won a playoff game, I know. Underdogs, we don't begin to done as underdogs. I think we're like 1-6 as underdogs. But we are typically underdogs. We have been underdogs because this roster just hasn't been the greatest, you know? It is what it is. Like, we got to tell the truth. Number 3, Ben threw interceptions. Ben did throw interceptions. That is, that is true. Le'Veon Bell was hurt. Le'Veon Bell was always hurt. Antonio Brown was hurt. Antonio Brown, I shouldn't say always was hurt, but typically we played without him. We remember that Vontaze Burfict shit. We didn't play the next week without him, or we didn't play the next week with him. You know who else we didn't play with that next week against the eventual Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos, who low-key we almost could have beat if the refs didn't fuck us with that intentional, when Peyton Manning took a knee, got up and threw the ball. If the refs didn't fuck us then, we almost beat that team. But that same, killer bee offense, we were missing Le'Veon. We were missing Antonio Brown that same season. Fast forward to 2024 when we're looking back on these playoff losses that Mike Tomlin had, don't even remember it. He lost with Ben, Le'Veon, and AB every single time, man. Cam Hayward was hurt. Low-key, I don't know if a Cam Hayward injury has really ever hindered us, like no offense. And maybe last year, like we could have won in Buffalo. Like I don't really see that as like a take. Mason Rudolph threw an interception in the Buffalo Bills game. He did. Like he really did. And I get, he wasn't supposed to win the game himself. This is Mason Rudolph we're talking about. But it's true. He did throw an interception, man. And then Ryan Clark couldn't play in Denver. I'm assuming this is referring to the Tim Tebow touchdown. Who in the... God, and this is that shit I'm talking about, man. We just forget about it. Who the fuck thought Tim Tebow was going to throw an 80-yard bomb on the first play of overtime, man? Mike Tomlin sure didn't. I sure didn't, man. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Now, I know I've gotten my rant off. I know I've probably been yelling at this point for 5 to 7 minutes and maybe saying nothing. I'm saying the same things over and over and over again. But it just really is frustrating to me that, people are having this opinion that who are we supposed to have, man? How are we supposed to just get rid of Mike Tomlin after losing in the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, bro? We're supposed to just fire him for that, and then we look at the defense, we have no linebackers, no safeties, and we still low-key kind of for a second made it a game. You know what I'm saying? And then the year before that, Kansas City, we're supposed to fire him after losing to Kansas City. Browns, we're supposed to fire them. Maybe we're supposed to fire him after that Browns playoff game. We've beaten the Browns 700 times, but the one time they got us, it was a pretty big loss. Maybe we get rid of Tomlin then. The Jacksonville game, you can look at that game. Maybe, just maybe, we should have got rid of him then. But we were also still in a window. We were also coming off the list. This is what pisses me off, man, because I know time goes and I know blah, 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 blah. But when we lost to Jacksonville the year before that, we won 2 playoff games. We had just won 2 playoff games. And then we played Jacksonville. We lose 45-42. Low-key made that game close. Low-key almost came back out of it, but it is what it is. We were supposed to fire him then. 2016, we fucking lose in the AFC Championship to who? New England. We always lost to New England. Before then, 2015, won a playoff game. And we got fucked. Everybody was hurt. Everybody was hurt in that Denver Broncos playoff game, but we were supposed to get rid of him then. Before then, the Ravens game. The Ravens in the first round, Big Ben did not play the best game, but low-key, we didn't come out to play. Low-key, I know what it is. I know that we've been outscored 68-0 or some shit in playoff games. That can't happen. I know. But I'm just saying, man. It's not like these shits are just falling out of this. It's not like Tomlin is just fucking out there scribbling nothing and being like, yeah, go guys. And everyone's like, yeah, hooray, Mike Tomlin. It's not going down like that, man. We've gotten a little bit unlucky, and it's true. And it's unacceptable. It really is unacceptable. I'm saying all of this, and I want so badly for us to finally fucking turn it around and win a playoff game finally. Even though, once again, people act like Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game before. This shit has happened. This shit happened in 2017. I know that was a while ago, damn near 10 years ago, but it's true. He has at least 8 to 10 playoff wins. This guy has done it before. He has a whole championship, but it just doesn't matter because it happened a while ago. It literally doesn't even exist because it happened a while ago. Oh, we live in a what have you done for me lately league. What has Tomlin done lately? He has fucking continuously won 8 to 9 to 10 games with literally whoever you've put on the roster for the last 17 years. Mike Tomlin has turned that team to at least 8 wins. Whether it was Duck out there, whether it was Mason, whether it was Dobbs, whether it was Landry Jones, whether it was Big Ben, whether it was Michael Vick, whether it was Charlie Batch, whether it was whoever you want to name, Dennis Dixon. I don't even think he played for the Steelers. Did Dennis Dixon play for the Steelers? He might have. I don't know why I'm thinking he's a Raven, but you know what I'm saying? Whoever it has been out there, whatever pieces on defense we've had, whether good or bad, when we had the Killer Bees, horrible defense. Now we have a great defense, good or bad. 8 to 10 wins every time. We've had some really good seasons too, with 12, with I want to say 13 one year in 2017. We've had some good rosters and we were able to win a lot of games. We've had some horrible rosters. We're still able to win at least 8 games. And we're just supposed to let him go. We're supposed to just let him go. And every single player on the team is telling you, yo, he is him. Every single player on the team is like, bro, I want, like, Russell Wilson is coming here for Mike Tomlin. Justin Fields wanted to come here because of Mike Tomlin. Cameron Hayward is sticking around probably because of Mike Tomlin. TJ Watt probably because of Mike Tomlin. Any player on the roster, name them, and I guarantee you that they love Mike Tomlin and they don't want to play for a different coach. But let 60-year-old Yinzer tell you, Mike Tomlin is horrible. I will say, I did see a take about Mike Tomlin's game management and clock management. He is horrible at that. I will admit that. He is horrible at calling timeouts. He is horrible at the situational football. But the fact that people are getting on here, real profile picture, real fucking, like their actual name, like on their Twitter profile, and be like, Mike Tomlin is a fraud and he's Mike McCarthy and just all this bullshit. And it's like, fam, like how do we not respect this? Like, it could be so much worse for us. I know seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Like we know how the Steelers go. We know we lose like absolutely fucking horrible games that we shouldn't lose. We know we start out slow. I know. But for the most part, we have gotten the job done. In the playoffs, once again, outside of the Cleveland Browns, we haven't played a playoff game we were supposed to win in a fucking millennium, man. We really haven't. What playoff game were we supposed to win? That 2017 conference championship against New England when Bell got hurt like the first play of the season or the first play of the game? Maybe. That Jacksonville team, they had a pretty good run of it for like the 2 years. They almost beat New England as well, but okay, maybe we were supposed to beat them. You got me. But in recent history, it's been the Chiefs twice. It's been the Bills. Like, fam, we weren't supposed to win those games at all. And, maybe it's his fault for not actually winning those games. Maybe it's his fault for, us starting out slow. He definitely does play a factor in it. But it's just ridiculous to me, man. And I couldn't be happier that Mike Tomlin is back, honestly. I've explained this before. It maybe is nostalgic. It maybe is emotional. It maybe is because he's really the only coach I've seen. Maybe that's it. But, like, and once again, for who, man? For who? Who should we have at coach right now? It kind of goes back to the quarterback thing, like low key, of like when we were struggling with Kenny Pickett and everyone was like, oh man, we should have got CJ Stroud at pick number 2 overall. Like, we should have Bryce Young right now. We should have Caleb Williams right now. Like, why don't we have fucking, prime Aaron Rodgers right now? We got Kenny Pickett out there. It's like, who are we supposed to have? Who are we supposed to fucking bring in to replace Mike Tomlin? I'll tell you one thing. Outside of our special teams coach, what's his name, Danny Smith, outside of him, there has not been a single coordinator on this team in a little bit that has been promotable to head coach. Brian Flores, maybe, for the year he was the defensive guy, maybe that's one guy you point to, but are you kidding me right now? Are we really going to say like Matt Canada? Are we going to say, who else? I can't think of, who was our Randy Fichtner? Who was our defensive coordinator before who we have now? Keith Butler, we were supposed to promote him. Like, who else were we supposed to get? We were supposed to fire Mike Tomlin and just bring in somebody else. The only time to do that low key is now. The only time to do that is like when we got like a new team. You look past that, you look like at the playoff games we've lost. We had a veteran team, we had a veteran quarterback, and we wasn't going to play for a new coach, man. Like, we're talking about firing Mike Tomlin in the middle of the Killer Bee run, in the middle of the Killer Bee era, man. Like, it just would have been impossible to get rid of him. And I get, okay, a 3-year extension. I think Andrew Filipponi has a tweet up here that I had up. Where's Andrew Filipponi at? 7 years without a playoff win, but by all means, let's give the man a raise in more years. Definition of accepting mediocrity. Mediocrity isn't like, and mediocrity is what it is, man. For having winning seasons, for literally being over 500, it's mediocre, bro. Like, these takes, they just happen. And then shout out to this Jacob guy. 7-year ignores all the other factors. Aging quarterback, horrible GM tenure isn't true. Like, down the stretch, he definitely, who is this? Not Keith Butler. Kevin Colbert definitely had a like rough time down the stretch. But you shouldn't say horrible GM. Rookie QB that went south in a young offense, replacing Tomlin would do nothing but hurt this team. I kind of agree with that. I really do. But as you guys can see, how about his poor game management, the way he manages timeouts, the way he sucks at challenges, it's how it took him 14 weeks to start his best quarterback. This is the shit I'm talking about, man. We're slandering Mike Tomlin for Mason fucking Rudolph not being able to play. Like, all the time we're doing this shit, man. Like, and the people just get it off. Like, it's okay. Like that's an actual narrative to have. Mason Rudolph, if you're watching this, brother, you've seen me praise you. You've seen me. You've seen in videos. I wanted to trade you so deep ago. I wanted to give you another game so deep ago so you could raise that trade value so we could actually get something for you. But Mason Rudolph, bro, he stinks, man. He stinks, bro. We weren't supposed to play Mason Rudolph. Who else were we supposed to play? Mitchell Trubisky? Like, and then it goes back to the Kenny Pickett thing, too. I kind of hate Mason Rudolph low-key. Unbelievable. And this right here, I agree with this one. Until you have a better solution, you have to stick it out with Tomlin. Tomlin grates me sometimes, but the Roonies have greenlighted Khan to go get the pieces. If we don't get another Lombardi, then perhaps it is time to move on. I agree with that for sure. I for sure agree with that, man. And like the heat is on. Like the heat is on. I get seeing a 3-year extension doesn't exactly mean like, oh, the pressure's on, the heat is on. But like we can get rid of him in the middle of the tenure. Like this is Mike Tomlin. People don't even deserve, like people don't even believe he deserves that, bro. Like this isn't some rinky-dink coach. This isn't like fucking new coach that we're just gonna hope is good. Like this is a 17-year, 17 straight times this dude has won at least 8 games. You give any coach in NFL history 17 years, and outside of fucking the 1930s with 6 teams and whoever coaches that, like outside of those years, like nobody is doing that. Nobody is returning or on return on investment like Mike Tomlin. And he does have a Super Bowl and he does have some playoff wins, but it happened a while ago, and so it doesn't exist. Because it happened a while ago, it doesn't exist, man. Like it just, I don't know. I feel like I've stated this over and over and over again. I've stated how I feel over and over and over again. And to end the video here, to like really summarize it, to sum it up, we have to get the job done for sure. We have to win a playoff game here in this season for sure. And I think this is our best roster in a while. This is like our actual, real roster right here that we can actually go out and win some playoff games with. Kenny Pickett, this horrible quarterback, Kenny Pickett, just so bad, so fucking awful, but we were supposed to win with him. Mitchell Trubisky, we all know is terrible. Some people were fans of Mitchell Trubisky. We were supposed to win a playoff game with him. We were supposed to win a playoff game with Mason Rudolph. Like, this is what people are saying, man. Like, this is the shit they get off, and then it all falls back on Tomlin, man. Like, I just don't get it. But in conclusion, man, I agree. I do agree with, like, the heat should be turned up. I do agree with we got to do something. We got to figure something out. But to just be like, no, he's horrible. No, like, we're making a huge mistake. No, we're just blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know, man. You guys sound dumb. And maybe, who knows, man. Maybe in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, we'll look back on this video and it's like, man, I was tweaking. Like they were trying to tell me, because they've been trying to tell us, man, for so long. They've been trying to tell us since that Tim Tebow game that we got to get rid of Mike Tomlin. And, we haven't had the playoff Super Bowl success, but I think we have had some success given the roster that we've had, given the situations we were put in. We were able to make the most out of them. And yeah, for sure, we definitely have to get it going again. And boy, don't let it happen, bro. Do not let Mike Tomlin get another Super Bowl, because I swear to God, I'm gonna remember this. I really am, and he is too. Like, I'm sure he sees the Twitter. I'm sure he sees the fucking slander. I'm sure. Remember when they were asking him about, oh, is he gonna go coach at USC, bro? And he was like, I'm sure he's seen it. Like, just don't let Tomlin get another championship, man. I'm ready to fucking crown him after a playoff game, because like he just has never done that before ever, and he just can't do it. So like, if he wins another playoff game, man, I'm getting my shit off. If we win another Super Bowl, bro, which I know we will. I know Mike Tomlin will get another Super Bowl. I just feel it in my fucking bones. I can feel it. I know we will. Like, when that happens, I'm going to be absolutely insufferable, man. I really am, because it just, the takes over the year just pisses me off. And I got videos on this channel talking about, yo, Mike Tomlin's got to fix it. Mike Tomlin's got to do something. I'm sick of this. I really am. I understand the frustrations. I know by like week 7 of this year, I'm going to be like, bro, like Tomlin is tweaking, man. I know, I get it. But then after, we see the players come out. We see the fire we play with sometimes. We see the way we're able to rattle off games. We see the shit happening, and like, it's just all forgiven for me, man. It's magic, bro. Like, Mike Tomlin is literally a wizard, bro. Like, we're not even talking about a normal human. We're talking about a wizard who fucking commits magic at the end of the season every single time. And then, okay, I get it. We haven't won the playoff game in a while. Like, you got me there. You really do got me there. You for sure do. But we have won playoff games before. It has been possible with Tomlin. It really has been. And I just, I'm excited for these next 3 years. In conclusion, I'm excited to see these next 3 years of Mike Tomlin. I think, like I said, I know we're going to win a Super Bowl again. I really do. And I know he's going to be our coach for it. And so I really don't have to get so upset. But it just really does frustrate me, man. It really does, because people are acting like the killer bees. We're just all healthy, and we lost every single game with a healthy all 4 of or all 3 of them, however many you want to count. We just, we flopped year in and year out. The same 11-0 fraud team with no offensive line and James Conner, who everybody hated, and an aging Big Ben, and a defense like that was kind of banged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that same team, we should have beat the Browns. You got me. We should have beat the Browns. We really should have. But like, to just act like it was just this massive, colossal, world-ending, like fucking David versus Goliath story, and that same Browns team went against fucking the Kansas City Chiefs and almost got them. That same quarterback of the Cleveland Browns pulled up to Tampa Bay and beat the Eagles in a playoff game. That same quarterback who was quarterbacking against us, him. And the quarterback is Baker Mayfield, by the way, he's just ass, but like that same team, it's whatever. Like, we weren't supposed to lose it, and like I don't know, bro. I'm frustrated, man. I really am, because I feel like I said this over and over and over again. I've had the same takes about Mike Tomlin. I'm just ready for him to shut up the doubt, man. I'm just ready for us to win another Super Bowl. I'm just ready for us to get this shit going. So, with all that said, I think I've gotten my shit off. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm sure there's going to be people who who don't even give a fuck and aren't even going to watch this and are going to be like, Mike Tomlin is ass because we haven't won a playoff game and blah, 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 blah. You got me. You're all allowed to have our opinions. We really are. Who knows? Maybe I'm not the smartest guy, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell if you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a comment as well. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of the Mike Tomlin extension. And we'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out. That was a lot.